welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be bringing you this look right here, which looks a lot more difficult than it actually is, and that is kind of the point. So we got a little burgundy and blue, little smoky eye going on, and then I've added some turquoise dots, and then I added a kind of matching lip, so it's kind of that same kind of pinky burgundy-ish shade. And then I've added a little blue stripe down the center. So with this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you very easy step-by-step how I created this look. And the great thing about this is that it's very easy to stop at whatever point you feel comfortable and still get a really good, nice, completed look. So if you finish the eyeshadow and you like how it looks, you can stop there. If you then want to add the lashes, you can stop after that. You can then choose to add the dots if you want. I know it's very out there, so it's optional for some. You don't have to do it to complete the look. It looks still just as good without it. And then again with the lip, if you just want to have a nude lip, you can do that. If you want to add a kind of burgundy-ish lip to match it, you can also do that. And then you can take it to the final, highest level with the little stripe down the center. Although I will say this isn't really the most practical, because I guess once you do anything, like you eat or you take a sip of a drink, the whole thing is just kind of ruined. So, you know, it's great for the Instagram. Not really that practical for real life. But you know, each to their own, each to their own. I'm living for the next 5 minutes until I decide to wash this off because I get hungry. So before I do start to get too hungry and take a break to eat and then just never return, let's jump right in. So I'm starting by taking this kind of burgundy toned SuperShock shadow from ColourPop and just applying it all over my lid with my finger. Adding this wash of colour is essentially going to do half my work for me, and especially with these ColourPop shadows, as they essentially just blend themselves. As you can see, all I'm doing is just tapping at the edges with my finger, and it's just blending so nicely into my skin. As I do want this eyeshadow look to be more winged out instead of rounded, I'm going to angle my finger slightly and press the shadow in so that I get the right angle, and then I'm going to go in with a clean finger to blend it. Then taking the purple shade from the NYX Ultimate Brights palette and just blending out the edges slightly. As I said before, the ColourPop shadows do blend themselves, so this isn't really necessary. I just wanted to add a slightly more purple tone before I go in with the rest of the eyeshadows. The great thing about using these ColourPop shadows is that while they have really good staying power, they're still kind of tacky, so other eyeshadows stick on them really nicely. So as you can see, I'm just using a sponge tip applicator with this nice purple shadow, and I'm basically just stamping it right on top of the ColourPop shadow, and it's just going to stick. So I don't have to keep layering up colour and layering up colour. I can just place it where I want it, it's going to stay there, and then I can go back in with a blending brush to blend out the edges. And as I did before with my finger, I'm angling the applicator slightly so I get that nice winged out shape. And now going back in with that same blending brush just to ensure that there are no harsh edges. You'll notice that I only applied the darker purple onto the inner and outer corners of my eyes, and I'm also trying to skip the middle section as I'm blending this out. This is how you create the halo effect. Now going in with another ColourPop eyeshadow, which is slightly broken. Due to the creamier texture of these eyeshadows, if you don't close them airtight enough, they do start to dry out. But this colour is absolutely stunning. It's a duochrome. It's like that same kind of burgundy base colour with a blue reflect. So I'm just taking that with my finger and pressing that right into the centre of my eyelid where I left that space a little bit lighter. And then just going back in with my purple shade to blend out those edges. And then just using that same blending brush to ensure that the blue blends nicely into my crease colours. Using a small smudge brush, I'm going to apply that same dark purple shade I applied on the inner and outer corners of my lid, but this time I'm going to use it all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner, not leaving any gap in the middle to make sure it's nice and smoky, and I'm just going to blend that out with the same blending brush and make sure it's connected to the top of the eyelid. Now I'm going to take this champagne shade from the same palette just on the other side of my sponge tip applicator and use that to highlight my inner corners. And that's essentially it for the eyeshadow. I told you it was that easy. All that's left now is to line my upper and lower lash line. I'm using black at the top, and on the bottom lash line I'm just going to use a nice kind of shimmery turquoisey colour to sort of match the halo effect. I thought it would just be something a little bit different than your average black. I'm now just using a black liquid liner to draw a thin black line straight across my upper lash line. I'm not doing a wing. This is just going to give my lash band something to sit on and make everything look neater and slightly more cohesive. I'm now attempting to use that liquid liner to extend my inner corner slightly to create a cat eye point, but this is really hard to do on camera and stay in frame, so I kind of messed it up. And then I tried to fix it, and then both eyes ended up looking completely different, so I'm just going to give up and move on. I've placed the mirror of this compact essentially under my nose and I'm looking down into it to apply the mascara. By doing this is going to help not get mascara onto the eye look, because there is nothing more annoying than spending however long blending your eyeshadow and then you ruin it by getting flecks of mascara onto it. Same with your bottom lashes, getting mascara all over that perfectly applied, blended and set concealer. I'm trying to make my under eyes look brighter, not darker, thank you. So as I said, you can stop the look right there if that is where you feel comfortable, but if you want something slightly different, I'm just taking a metallic turquoise liquid liner and I'm just using it to randomly draw dots just around the outer edge of my eye, kind of bringing it onto the eyeshadow and sort of extending it to where my highlight would be. I'm also just adding two underneath that inner corner point as well. By this point I have applied eyelashes as well, but again that is really hard to do on camera, so here's me applying lipstick. For most people this would be enough to just call it a day, but of course I had to be extra, didn't I? So I'm taking that same liquid liner again and I'm going to use that just to draw one single vertical line right down the center of my lips. Of course you do want to be very careful if you're applying eye products to your lips and vice versa, so you avoid cross-contamination, but I live on the wild side, so I'm just going to draw that line and call it a day. So I realised as I finished filming this that I forgot to apply highlighter, so I'm just going to do that now, and of course what better colour to use than blue, because we're going for clearly a very natural look today. So I'm just applying a blue cream highlighter with my finger, and then I'm going to go over the top of that with a blue powder highlighter. This is from Anastasia, just to intensify it because, you know, it wasn't blue enough for me. And I'm going to lock everything in with a nice healthy dose of setting spray. Not only is that going to keep it all in place, but it's also going to intensify that highlight. So that is it for the finished look. I hope you have found this video tutorial helpful, and whatever level you decided to take your look to, I hope you are living for it and you are loving it. And if you do recreate this look, tag me on social media. Let me see. I'd like to see what level you were comfortable at, if you took it even a step further than I did. That would be interesting for me to see as well, because then I can steal your idea and make another video. Also, do not forget to like this video, share with your friends, and ensure you click that subscribe button down there, whichever side of the screen it happens to be in. I do not know, but make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I will see you next time.